Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about how to structure your offers to promote sustainability. So there are a lot of things that we know when it comes to clients. And one of those that's really important is that it is so much easier to retain a client versus trying to get a new client. And a lot of times we maybe think that this doesn't apply to us because of the kind of business that we have. So for example, when I had my design studio, I would just adapt what I did. So it seemed maybe a little bit harder with doing logos and branding and things like that. But what I would do is I would always come back and offer, like, if you need additional graphics, if you need different branded materials, you can buy a block of hours. So basically, I'm showing up and kind of getting them on a retainer depending on the kind of client that they were. Because for me, that seemed like an easy transition. Like, I already knew their brand, I knew what they liked, I designed everything, I had all of the files. And so it made a lot of sense that if they wanted to do like maybe emails and they wanted to get templates made for that, or they wanted to have like a freebie PDF or any kind of things like that, then they could come to me. And so I would also even offer to make like social media graphics and just do them as a package. So any kind of thing that I could do that would really support their overall brand, I would kind of put that into a list. And so they could choose to buy blocks of hours. And then I would just offer that a few times a year. Like if you want to renew your hours and get some graphics, some social media graphics, like anything like that, because I already had built a relationship with that client and I wanted to make sure that I was retaining the relationship. The second thing that's really great about that is it kind of keeps you top of mind. So when people are like, oh, I really need a designer, they think, well, hey, you should call this person, right? So that really helps in multiple ways. With the web design business, it was a little bit easier because I would design the website, but then, website need regular maintenance and hosting. And so they would have an option to have the maintenance and hosting plan. And that way I was getting some monthly revenue that was continuing to happen from those clients. And when they needed maybe like a website refresh or something like that, it was a really easy thing for me to do because I was already in the website. I built it. I'm in there all the time. I'm making sure that things are going well for them. And again, I'm top of mind. Now you may think, well, if I have a product, that could be a little bit different because maybe it's a one-off kind of product, but the same thing really still applies. And I think sometimes within our offers, like for coaching, for example, you might think, well, how, once I coach somebody, are we done? Like, how do you retain a client there? So that's really kind of what I wanted to dig into today as far as how you are structuring your offers and how you can really use these same principles to keep building on a relationship with someone. So the first time that somebody buys from you is always the hardest because they have to make that decision. So as easy as you can make that, the better. And that's why even if it's not actually a monetary purchase, so even if it's just a time purchase. So the first time that they get one of your free downloads, or the first time that they buy, something really small from you, and they've said yes, and they've said yes to you, and you are building that relationship in a very high touch way. So the next time that you may have something to offer them, it's the statistics say it's like 50% easier for someone to say yes again once they've said yes once. And knowing these things, this is the reason why you want to have offers that scale. So what I mean is you want to have an offer that feels like an easy yes. Now, what that easy yes is for you and your business is going to be different. So it really depends on where you are. If you're a person who has been online for years and you have tons of invested followers and you've been giving away tons of value and content, your easy yes offer could be $1,000 to $3,000. I'm just throwing a number out there. If you are a person who is newer in your business and you haven't built up as many relationships, you don't have as many like testimonials and social proof and all of those kind of things, then your easy yes offer could be something free. It could be something that's $100, whatever it is going to be a little bit different. But then the next part of that really makes it key is falling into that idea of like customer retention, is that you want to have something else that is also a good offer for them. So whatever it is has to be an easy yes for the next thing that you offer. If I design your website and you like me, we've had a great relationship, the website looks great, you have trust in me, and you feel like she knows me, she knows how to take care of me, she's easy to communicate with, like all these things are going good. So when I say like, hey, would you like to sign up for this package where I maintain your site every month, I do X, Y, and Z, it's this price, you're 1,000 times more likely, or technically 50% more likely to say yes, right? On the other side of that, if you get an offer from me and I coach you for like an hour and a half and you leave that call and you think, dang, shoot, that was really helpful. I learned a lot. I learned a lot in that call. Or well, I had one person who signed up for a free call and she said, I learned more in this one call than I've learned working with a coach for the last 3 months, like another coach. And she actually sent me a gift card. It was really sweet. That was like really, I don't know, really new in my coaching career, but I really appreciated that because I was doing the calls to build relationships, but also to build confidence. And so the reason that this is really important is because imagine that you have a client imagine you're a coach like me, and you have a client who has a really good experience like that. And they're like, man, I learned more in that one coaching call than I've learned in this mastermind group for 6 months or this other program for 6 months. When I say, hey, would you like to work together and whatever offer I have, like you're much more likely to say yes than if you just saw a post where I was like, come join my coaching program on Instagram. So there's a big difference there. So you want to have offers that scale and make sense, that it's the next best thing. But even if that offer was paid and let's say we work together for 3 months on something very specific, like right now in my business, I have Discover Your Brand Voice and we get really specific on your content. And it's really great because people need help with that. But I also know that they're figuring out a lot of things about their business when they're getting really clear on their messaging. And so a no-brainer next best step is really then diving into their marketing and strategy and seeing how we can take what they've done and really expand that in other ways. And it brings up a lot of questions. It brings up other places where they need a lot more clarity. It always kind of reminds me of when we do renovations. It's like we think, oh, we just need to do this one thing. But then when you fix this one thing in your house, it's like all the other stuff that was outdated and looks 20 times worse. And so it just keeps identifying new problems. So that's kind of the way these micro offers work. When you have these scalable offers, the scalability of it is that each one makes sense with the other. So you start with something small and you get somebody a really great result and you build like know and trust with them. And then they're like, that was such a great experience. And you're like, yeah, well, I think the next best step for you is to do whatever your other offer is. And then you work with them like that. And it's like you're building a relationship with that person as you're continuing to serve them on a deeper level. So you can kind of switch out the wording there of what really works for you. But you can even think of somebody who maybe has like a smaller offer, like maybe they do some VA type of stuff and they just do graphics and things like that. And the person's like, well, I just know I need graphics. I need some graphics. That's going to solve my problem. Like immediately right now, I need graphics for this launch that I want to do. And so they go to a graphic designer. A graphic designer does this, but then she's like, well, you know, it would really pop more. You could really take it to the next level, I think, if you would do a logo refresh. So then she's upsold them from just regular design work, she's been able to upsell them into a much more expensive package, which is that logo refresh. So you kind of have to think about it like that. Like, how can I serve people in a way that is very specific, that's getting them like a quick, specific result, like a quick win. And then how can I go deeper with them and get them an even better result? And it doesn't mean you have to have 3 offers. You can have 2 offers. You can have something for free and just one signature paid offer. It really depends on what you do. And also, again, kind of where you are in your business. Not that you're not qualified, because that's not what I'm saying, but it depends on how much value you've already put up, how many relationships you've already created. Because that's really what it's about, is relationships and serving people. That's pretty much all we're doing here, right? We're just solving problems and we're building relationships. So when you can create offers that do that, and that scalability factor, so having like a smaller offer and then a larger offer, you're able to do all of those things in a way that is really going to give you some quick results. So if you're starting out, if you're starting to shift or something like that, really think about what that micro offer is, so that very specific, quick win, easy yes kind of offer is that you can give. And it doesn't mean you have to do this for like 2 or 3 years or 6 months or whatever. You're just quickly trying to build as many relationships as you can, because, if you've got, um, let's say that you're new, or you've just made a shift and you want to kind of do something different. If you can get 10 people into that micro offer, probably half of those, so probably 5, will take you up on your next offer when you create your offers that way, right? And so while you're getting your next 10, you've got 5 in the next part. And so that way you're constantly shifting people from one offer to the next offer. So a lot of times I know it's easy to think, well, I just want that high level thing, I want this thing, but you really got to start. You've got to date people, right? You've got to build those relationships first and work them into those higher level offers where you are just serving them in a different way. So think about how you can solve someone's problem immediately and most quickly, and then think about how you can then go deeper. So work with them to solve that problem and get them an even better result. And that is really going to make a difference when it comes to how fast you build your business and how easy it is for you to get clients.